Season 3 of Please Me. Eve is a licensed sexual health physical therapist on a mission to destigmatize conversations about sex. She often says there is no shame in sex and no shame in having a sexual health condition. Please relax and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Please Me, the podcast that aims to destigmatize conversations about sex and sexual health by turning the sheets into our classroom. Today, I have the honor to bring on a guest who actually is going to be interviewing me. His name is EA, and he is an amazing counselor. He is on social media, and he is all over the place giving amazing advice about how to heal from addiction and many other things. And I'm going to have him interview me today because I want to share with you my backstory, which I really have never told on the podcast. And since this is season 3 and episode 1, I wanted to start with that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on EA to ask me some questions. Hi, EA. How are you today?
Wow, I'm excellent. Every day is a holiday and every meal is a feast. So I'm super excited to be here and honored and thrilled just to be able to share in this moment with you. This is like history. We're making history right here. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here and for agreeing to do this interview for me. I actually did an interview like this on season 1 of episode 1, where I had a radio personality interview me. But I feel like we can definitely go deeper. So let's start.
So I'm untraditional. We have no script. This is just straight off the head, right? So I want to kind of go forward and then move backwards.
Okay, let's do it.
I love the whole podcast. Please Me. Where did you come up with that? How did that come about? Like that had to start somewhere. So tell us about how that started.
Absolutely. So Please Me is actually a product that I created. Okay. And the product is for sexual health. And it's a product that hasn't come out yet, okay. But I did a lot of work on it. It's about protecting yourself with oral sex.
Okay.
And so just to put it out there, I'm looking for people that want to invest in moving this product forward. But I thought that in order to do something like that, I would need a platform for people to know who I am and to understand that I'm really interested in sexual health. And that is what I do as part of my profession. I'm a physical therapist, and I treat conditions of the pelvic floor and other sexual health conditions like erectile dysfunction, decreased vaginal sensitivity and dryness, incontinence, and other things that, painful sex, all of the things that, can go wrong. And you'd be surprised, sometimes cancer can cause people to go into menopause, and then suddenly it affects their sex life. So there's a lot of reasons why people would find physical therapists to treat them for sexual health. So that is my specialty.
Okay, so now you already cooking, right? You already got the water boiling. So you said sexual health. What, that's broad. So what is sexual health? What does that actually mean, sexual health?
So physically, that means having the body parts that are functioning properly. And that is what I treat. The emotional stuff, it's funny because I've always thought that, and I've actually often been asked if I'm also a counselor, because a lot of people will kind of tell me their whole story while I'm giving them treatment. And it's very interesting because especially when you're dealing with sexual health, you do come across a lot of people that have other issues. When you have sexual health issues, it affects your emotional health as well. But physically, that's what I'm treating, the issues of physical dysfunction.
Okay, so for me, I became a counselor because I had a strong issue with addiction. So, the opposite of addiction was like seeking, like how you're a therapist. So was there something that happened to you as a child that, maybe happened to you sexually that prompted you to want to go down this road?
Well, yes, definitely. I I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse.
Okay.
And so, at that moment in time when that first, abuse happens to me, I lost my ability to have control over my own body.
Mm.
And that control, that lack of control, really followed me for many, many years. And
Mm.
because of that, I was abused by 5 family members, or 5 people in general. Um, and um, and that really affected my sexuality. And in my 20s, I really made a big push to try and heal from that abuse, because it really was debilitating. And I did counseling. I worked with a couple of people, friends of mine who became my very best friends at that time. And we journaled together for about
Yes.
a year and a half.
Wow.
And we belonged to an organization that I'm not even sure still exists or not. It was called SIA, and it stands for Survivors of Incest Anonymous.
Okay.
And it was like a 12-step program, similar to, AA. And, but it was geared towards sexual abuse. And, we worked the program together. We would meet every weekend and we would journal, and then we would read our journals to one another and then talk about it. And through that, we really healed, from that trauma. And it was very intense, but amazing, because when we finished the program and we got to the other side, we were different people than we were when we started.
So how long was that journey for you? Or is it like a never ending journey, or like, is it over for you, or are you completely healed, or what would you say?
So that's an interesting question. And I, have thought, yes, I've put that behind me. Right. However, it comes up all the time. Okay. Healing is a journey. It's not, it's not over when you decide that your last therapy session is behind you. You know what I mean? Right. Like, it just goes on and on. And it's interesting that you asked that, because I was talking to one of my guests, Latifah Fleming, on one of my shows. And she also was a survivor of sexual abuse. Mm-hmm. And she mentioned that each time she has sex, she has to take those thoughts out of her mind and refocus on the moment and really get present. And each time she has to push those thoughts out of her mind. And, I hadn't really thought about it until she said that. Mm-hmm. But when I thought about it, I realized that for me, that was also true. So really focusing on being present when I'm in my sensual space, right, is really important, because my mind can kind of wander and go back to the abuse. And right, it very often does. I don't know if it's every time, but it's almost every time. Let's put it that way.
It sounds like you found something that works. And when it does happen, you instantly, you grab that tool to make sure that you keep in the moment. And that in itself, like, that's one of your tools that you use. What other tools do you use to help you on the journey? Like, this is important for people that's been in the same position as you, because I'm telling you, like, sexual abuse is prevalent. It's all over, man. This is like one of the oldest pandemics. So I would say, like, other people, that's why your podcast is so important. But tell us about other tools that you use.
I agree. I think the statistic is that 35% of women and 25% of men have experienced some form of sexual abuse in their past. Absolutely. It's so widespread, and hardly anybody is talking about it. So I think it's really important to talk about, and for me, I know it was really important for me to talk about it, when I was healing from it, because I felt like I wasn't alone, and there were other people that were going through it as well. So other tools that I use, or I have used in the past, one was journaling. That was a really important tool. Yes.
I love journaling. Journaling that's like my secret word. When I do interviews and people say that word, I just kind of like, I feel like, I don't know if you watch Pee Wee Herman or, rest in peace, Pee Wee Herman, but he used to have a secret word. When other people say it, he just go flip out. So that's kind of like that's like my thing. So journaling is my word. When you say that, I get the jumping and stuff. So journaling, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, journaling helped me a lot to kind of help to heal from that time. Other tools that I use in terms of like getting myself present, setting the mood. Setting the mood is so key, and you have to be ready for the moment. We're talking about sex here, right? So
we're definitely talking about sex here, like overcoming sexual abuse, like how do you being able to get back in the moment and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when I have to be, your mind is the biggest sex organ that you have, right? So my mind has to be present. And, there are certain times of the day when my mind is just not going to be present. Like in the morning when I have to get 2 kids to school and, I have the list of things that I have to do in my brain, that's not the time for me. I mean, some people love morning sex. For me,
hello.
Yes. Most men do, because they wake up with, hey, morning wood, and you're ready. You know what I mean?
I got to release this somewhere, okay?
I understand that. But, I don't wake up like that. I wake up feeling like crap, like I need a shower,
I can help you with that. I can help you with that. There's because recovery is a mindset, but we'll talk about that probably another show.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But, I wake up not feeling sexy, not feeling like I want to get into sexy time at that point. Right. But once I have a shower, now that just brings me to the present, because I've just like woken myself up. It's more about waking myself up, not necessarily feeling dirty, because that's not the part that bothers me. What bothers me is that I'm just not awake. I'm not feeling like.
Yes. I mean, you know yourself. You know yourself. That's
yes, huge. Absolutely. So, picking the time of day, number one, is so key, because my mind has to be prepared.
Right.
To be in the moment, and being honest about what turns me on with my partner, and being able to express that with him, that is so important too. Yes. And also bringing the tools that help me to really fully enjoy the experience. And I love sex toys. So, making sure that I have my faves is really important too.
Yes. And that smile. See, as long as you get into that smile, whatever it takes to get to the smile, that's what I would definitely recommend. You keep doing and keep sharing, because sharing is caring. You have no idea how many people you're helping right now in this very moment. So shout out to you, because I know it takes, a certain level of vulnerability to be sitting on the hot seat. You understand more than most. You're a podcast person. You know what this moment means. So I just want to shout you out for just being, transparent, man. Keep going and keep growing. I appreciate having this moment with you. How can people follow you? Like, how can people get more from you if they don't want to just wait for your show? They want to really just follow you. How can they do that?
Absolutely. So you can find me on pleaseme.online. That is my website. And I have lots of wonderful things to share on there. And you can find me there by just connecting with me and sending me a message. There's also wonderful things on my site, like the Orgasm Revolution, which I started in February, and it is an ongoing revolution. Do you want to know about it, EA?
Yes. Hey, we got to stop the press right there. What is it? You said, what an orgasm revolution? That sounds like a parade.
Yes, it is a parade. It's a parade of men and women and, anybody that wants to support it, honestly. And it is bringing awareness to the orgasm gap. And the orgasm gap is a phenomenon where heterosexual women have the least amount of orgasms out of any relationship type.
Wow.
And that's because in heterosexual sex, men's pleasure is prioritized over women's pleasure. And so the orgasm revolution is bringing awareness to this issue so that we can close our own orgasm gap one person at a time through education and through empowerment. So you can.
So do you have parties too? Like, how do you like? I mean, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I got to be a little crazy with this. Like, sexual revolution. Like, do you guys like come together, do seminars, and just really like? Do you guys do in-person presentations? Like, can you really show me how to bust it up? Like, I really want to know. Like, inquiring minds want to know.
Yes, I actually really love that idea about having like an actual event. Yes. Right now, it's a virtual event. So you go to my website and you go to the products, and there's a t-shirt that says orgasm equality on it. Ooh. And you buy the t-shirt, and then you post yourself wearing the t-shirt on social media, and you explain what the orgasm gap is and why it's important for you to bring awareness to this issue. And then you have joined the revolution.
I love it. Are you currently married or in a relationship? I know everybody want to know that too. They want to know now that you're talking about this. They want to know. Do you already have a special someone?
I am not married. I actually am divorced. And I am in a relationship. I'm in an open relationship. I like to say it's a modern relationship.
Okay. Again, guys, stop the press. Everybody stop it right now. What in the hey is that? What is a modern relationship, open relationship? Speak on that, please. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So after getting divorced, I was in a relationship, and I'll just share this here and I don't think I've ever shared this on the podcast before, where my marriage was sexless for a good 3 to 4 years of my marriage. Wow. And I pledged to myself that would never, ever happen to me again.
Okay.
And so for me, I don't want to limit myself sexually. And so I prefer to just keep our relationship open. And I love my partner. He's incredible. He is the man that has taught me how a woman is supposed to be treated.
Yes.
And he has taught. I'm sorry?
I said, shout out to him. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. He has been such a great influence on my life. He treats me like a queen. He puts me first. He does so many things for me. And I realized that he spoke my love language. Yeah. And so that was just really wonderful to find somebody like that. But I met him on a website that, was for ethically non-monogamous people. And
wow, they got websites like that? I'm sleep. I'm totally married. I'm into the whole, one-on-one type deal. I mean, I totally get it. I've made mistakes in my marriage, of course, like, a lot of people have. But OMG, they got actual websites for people that, I'm scared to I'm actually a little intimidated to ask the question. Woo,
so
okay.
I just put the website up there. It's called sdc.com. Okay. And that website, not only did I meet my partner on that site, but they also do a lot of education. I just did a webinar on there. So I have a professional profile on there now, a business profile on there, and I do webinars on there. And, there's so much education around ethical non-monogamy, how to enter into that lifestyle if that's something that a couple is interested in. And it could be for couples or for singles. You don't have to be coupled to be on the site. But really, there's a wealth of information, articles that are written by incredible people that, it's just lots and lots of information on that site. And it's worldwide. And so, it's a great resource. And so definitely check it out. If you go onto sdc.com.
My mouth is drooling over here. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I hit a couple of these corners before we end this match right here. So you did speak about being in an open relationship. So what does that mean? What does that exactly mean? It means you can have whatever you want, when you want, how you want?
Well, for us, it really, everybody defines their open relationship very differently.
Yes.
It really is all about the people that are in the relationship and the communication that, you have with your partner about what you want in your relationship. So for us, it means that we can explore with other people when we feel it's okay, when we want to. And so that's basically all that it means.
I like that. I mean, I do like that. I like the sound of it. Like, if we communicate prior, you guys have that kind of understanding. That is the understanding. It's all about understanding. Yeah.
That's why the word ethical comes into play, right? Because if you and your partner have an agreement with how you want to live your life, how you want your relationship to be, how you want your relationship to look like, and both parties are on board and in agreement, there really is no end to the amount of options out there.
So I do got a question. I want to get a little crazy with this, right? So we in a relationship, or you and your partner's in a relationship, how would a conversation go and you wanted to see somebody else? Like, hey, I see this guy, he's hot. I think, or is it just strictly guys, or is it, if it could be a female? Or, I mean, is it is it an open relationship? Is it men, women, or is it anything I want to do? Is that
anything I want to do? I don't want to limit myself ever again, like I said, right? And it's interesting because after my divorce, I really did a lot of exploring, and I really enjoyed the dating process. And everybody's so focused on being coupled, right? I need to be in a relationship. I need to be in a relationship. Well, it's really fun just to date, just to get to know people. You don't have to, jump to the end, at the beginning. You can just enjoy the other person's presence and enjoy, their listening to their stories and just creating friendships, and I have done that a lot. So for us, ours is a little bit different because, my boyfriend is more monogamish, and he doesn't want to have all the details of anybody else that I'm with. Like, he just doesn't want to know. Right. So he, that's his boundary. Yeah. And I respect that. Right. I don't give him all of the details of what's going on with me if I'm with somebody else. Mm-hmm. But, he has given me the green light to go to, women or bisexual, women's events, which I haven't done yet, but I'm planning to this Saturday. I'm really super excited about that. So,
go on, girl. Hey, well, make sure you keep us posted, because your podcast fans, they definitely want to know. They want to know more about how you live in. That's what's going to help you grow this audience as well. So that's just my humble opinion. You are amazing. You got a beautiful smile. You got a beautiful story. I'm, again, very honored and thankful that I had the opportunity just to get a snapshot, because that was a snapshot, guys.
Yes.
There's a lot that goes more into it, but I just wanted to help her dive a little bit in it. It's season 3, right? This is a great way to start season 3, getting to know a little bit more about your host and how she moves, and some of how she, some of her desires, her love language. I think I heard a little bit about that love language.
Yes,
just a little bit. But I'm a hopefully be back, guys. My goal is to come back here as often as possible. I am a clinician. I do speak this language of healing and recovery, and that's what I like to do. So that's what this was about today. OMG, man, you got me. You got my juices running, because you said so much that I want to say, but I just, I think it'd be best to just maybe either take it off camera or or save it for another show, because I want to make sure I give, people their time back. I don't want to hold them hostage. Wait, they're waiting for that next moment. You know what I mean? I know how this podcast stuff works, and less is always more.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. So I appreciate you being on here and interviewing me today. And I just want to mention where we met.
Yes.
So I was at a Podfest convention, a podcast convention called Podfest in Orlando. And we did a little video interview, and EA was behind the mic. And he was, putting together the production. And so that's where we met. And it was for a specific app called Owl, the Owl app. And the Owl app is a really interesting app that I think brings a lot of value. And through that, EA and I have connected. Yeah. And what it is, and do you want to explain what the Owl app is? Maybe
I would absolutely love to, man. Owl changed my life, guys. This is a supreme app. If you're on all the other ones, man, stop what you're doing. Download OWWLL in your App Store or your Google Play Store. It's for today's working entrepreneur. I love to say it just like that, because a lot of us have day jobs, night jobs, whatever the case may be. And we work for ourselves as well, like podcasting, motivational speaking, authors. There's a lot of different variables, real estate agents, just so many different things people are doing today. And you want to figure out how to connect with the right people, and the right people, they live on Owl, OWWLL. Make sure you use her referral code, because there are some fees that are associated with it, but it's all about vetting, and it's all about finding the right people. Trust and believe. I've been on this app about a year, and this is exactly how I met her. I'm from the West Coast, and I met her in the East Coast at an event that was sponsored, that Al flew me in to be a part of the mission. So again, OWWLL, use the referral code that's on the screen right now, and make sure you connect with me. My name is EA. I'm on the app, and yes, let's go.
Yes, absolutely. It's such an amazing place to network.
Yes.
So definitely recommend it for networking.
Absolutely.
So that is how we met. And I want to just pop this back up here again, just to mention that there is a promo code for SDC.com as well. And if you use my promo code, you will get to try the website for free. And it depending on who you are, it gives you like a certain amount of time, but you can try the website for free and check it out. So,
what kind of stuff is on the website? I'm interested. I'm curious. I might even do it just to support you, and I am I'm a curious guy. I like to see little things. So yes, I study people. So.
Well, you will be studying on that forever, and I just warn you that you can get lost on that site.
Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. I'm going to bring my wife with me. It's the only way I can get lost.
Yes, you should. She might be very interested. It might just like spark a little, more fun between the two of you. So definitely recommend you checking that out as well.
I'm definitely going to check it.
Yeah. So, as a licensed physical therapist, I treat conditions of the pelvic floor. I also treat conditions such as erectile dysfunction, decreased vaginal sensitivity and dryness, painful sex, incontinence, and other sensual health conditions. So if that's you and you're listening out there and you need some help or some guidance, please go to pleaseme.online and please reach out to me. And again, EA, thank you so much for interviewing me today. This was so much fun.
My pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being on Please Me. Yeah. Until next time. Visit pleaseme.online to reach Eve, or for more information on products to increase blood flow and overall health, for her curated list of her favorite toys, and for swag that shows that you are a big fan. Please consider supporting the show.